Good morning, lovelies, and welcome to another daily creativity with yours truly, Charlotte Burns. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone who's been watching all through the month of May, when I challenged myself to go live every single day during the month of May to celebrate National Scrapbooking Month, but also to challenge myself. I did to try and do some more scrapbooking throughout May. And mate, have I done some scrapbooking? Maybe not decorated every single page, but I've certainly pulled apart a lot of magnetic albums, which I have shown you, and I hope that you've enjoyed that and maybe been inspired. If you are watching live on this video, please feel free to say hi. If you've got any questions, go ahead and ask. I will come back eventually and answer them. If you're watching on the replay, I'd really appreciate a hashtag replay. Good morning to Linda and Nicole. Lovely to have you with me this morning. It is a chilly Melbourne morning for me, and I'm feeling it. I am feeling it through to my bones. So today is actually the last day of May, which means if you are interested in anything that I've been showing you throughout this month as far as the National Scrapbooking Day, National Scrapbooking Month products, today is the day to order it. Okay, there is my plug. I'm going to run you through quickly some of the things that I've shown you, and then I have a very, very special little technique video for you. So as I mentioned, this has been National Scrapbooking Month, celebrated on a specific day, which I can't remember the date, in about the middle of the month with National Scrapbooking Day, and we had lots of products available. So during May, you can purchase the bundles of the products, and you can also purchase the individual items. Now, those items will still be available while supplies last through into June, but we've got some more specials in June. So if you want the May National Scrapbooking anythings, grab them today. All right, 31st of May, grab them today. So this was one of the cutest little bundles. The penguin, I had to buy it. It was up there in the pricing, but I did have to buy it with all of these gorgeous penguins, and I made a card. Not sure if I showed much else with this one, but I have certainly had fun with this little guy, stamping him and fussy cutting him. This particular one did come with an album, and it made a mini album, which is super, super fun. I haven't done that one yet, but I've certainly got the bundle of stuff. The next one was, let me just move this across and give you a sneak peek of what I'm showing you today. No, that is not what we were showing. I did show you though. I did show you this month of lots of ideas with flip flaps, and that was not supposed to come out and be shown, but that's okay. Only because it wasn't part of National Scrapbooking Month. This is what I was wanting to show you. So this was the flip flap things that I was showing you. So this too was part of National Scrapbooking Month, this gorgeous paper. And it's interesting going through some of my older photos and seeing some of these colours in them, thinking I might need to grab some more of this paper before it all runs out. So again, I showed you flip flaps, and I also showed you how to bring flip flaps onto the front of your memory protector, putting tags on them just as a bit of an idea. Flip flaps in different places. These are the 6 by 12 inch flip flaps, just so you can either hide photos or you can add photos that maybe wouldn't add on to the page, and some more of those. And I was super, super thrilled as I was going through my photos to find the photo of my brother and myself after he was bailed out of jail. So that was really good. So yes, I did cover that, the Good Vibes paper suite. And then more recently, I did the circles and patterns, and I'm really happy with the way those pages turned out as well. Love that. That was a fairly intense pattern to follow, but I think it was worth it in the end. And I think that I will certainly be doing that again. Again, another one of the more expensive packages, but for what you get with all of those circle dies, I can imagine myself doing that. So now we come along to another workshop. And this one, can't remember the name, but this one, Many Wishes, uses stencils, which is something quite new to me in showing you guys. So I'm going to show you how to use stencils. This particular workshop was more directed at the card makers, and you got to make some beautiful cards with the stencils, which I've already done. So you've got a couple of stencils, which I'll be showing you in more detail in a minute. And you also got this stamp set in with your kit. So this is a really nice stamp set with lots of beautiful sentiments and bits and pieces. Now, what I want to show you though is, as I've been showing all throughout this month, whatever you can do on pages, you can do on cards and vice versa. So if you have some cards, you can also do the same on paper. Now, if I can find my paper, which I've just put all my scrapbook pages on, here we go. I've got a 12 by 12 sheet of white cardstock, my go-to cardstock always. And I'm not going to use the stencils at the moment, but what I've used is, I've actually used the Distress Oxide Inks by Ranger. Now, I've already chosen my colours. So I'm sure you need, for this particular stencil, you'll see you need some colours for the flowers and also colour for the leaves. So I've chosen peeled paint for the leaves, and then I'm going for seedless preserves because I'm into purple at the moment. And I'm also going for tattered rose, which is a bit of a pinky colour. So these are the colours that I'm wanting to use on my roses. I'm just going to pop them out of the way. And then inside your kit, when you buy this kit, you receive 2 stencils. I'm not sure if you can see them. What I recommend is, when you pull them out, see if you can line them up, because the leaves line up with the flowers. If I can get that to line up myself. Oh, that helps. Okay. And if they don't line up, what it means is that you've got them around the wrong way. So what I did was I took my alcohol marker and just wrote front on the front. So you can see that's actually upside down. So if I turn that around, the leaves then line up with the flowers, and that's how I need it. Now, if I had that backwards, that's not going to line up. So that's just a handy hint when you come to doing these particular flowers. So on a scrapbook page, it's a matter of deciding where you want your flowers. On the cards, it's great because they've actually shown you a design that you can use. So they've taken it off the page, and they've also done one in the middle of the card. You can also do it, I've seen some of the makers where they've done these and then they've cut them out, which is also really, really cool. But let me show you how you can do, or how you use stencils. So I'm going to start by coming down here, and I'm going to do some flowers. I'm not actually sure what I'm doing. So I'm going to do some flowers starting here. Now, you can either hold your stencil in place, or you can use a little bit of washi tape. Now, when you're using washi tape, I do recommend that you try and unstick it as much as possible. Washi tape is great. If it's super sticky, then it's not so great because it will rip your paper. So try and unstick it somewhat. And I'm going to do that and stick it to the paper. And that's all I should need. Then I'm going to use my tattered rose first. So I grab my tattered rose. I'm going to grab, so I use this to store all of my tops, and I have 4 of the blender handles, just to make it easy for myself. So I'm not having to swap out my sponges that much. All right, so I'm going to pounce in there, and then when you're blending, what I don't want to do is get any on the paper, but I'll start on the plastic bit or on my all-purpose mat, and I'll rotate, and then I'll come in. You can see I'm holding down the stencil, so pounce just on the plastic bit and coming in, and then rotating. I could stick my paper down as well if I wanted to, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep doing this. And the other thing I'm doing is coming back across over my stencil plastic just to pick that excess Distress Oxide ink up. So at the moment, you can't really see what's happening because it just looks like I'm putting some ink onto the paper. And again, just using circular motion to get that in. Now, one thing I will say is, it's a little bit of a shame, I do like how Close to My Heart colours match. The Distress Oxide inks don't necessarily match. So you don't, if you want your colours to match exactly, which I was hoping that these colours would match with some pages that I'm working on. I know they're not going to. This one might match, and that's actually why I've chosen these two colours, but I know the green won't match, and that's okay, I can add another green. If you want them to match, you can also, with stencils, you can actually use these pads. Let me just pick up my purple. You can use these pads with our regular inks. So the colour that I'm using is grape on my page. It's over there, that's why I keep pointing over there. And I could use the water-based inks with this. Now, I've just pounced that because I'm not really thinking. What I want to do with these is, having a look at my other pictures, can you see that I've just done a little bit of sort of extra colour here and there? So I'm going to be a bit more thoughtful and just stop for a minute and think where I want those colours. So I'm going to rub that off a little bit over here, just so it's not full on. And I'm thinking I'm going to do around the outside. So I'm just going to really lightly come around the outside and leave the centre pink, like so. And again, I'm just trying to make sure I don't go over onto my paper, because I don't want that. If I do, I can show you the fix for that. All right, so there I've got enough ink, and let me just show you what I've pretty well done is I've stenciled the flower here. Okay, if I do go over onto my paper, what I can do is I can always then just use one of the colours and go over it once I take the stencil away. The other thing you can do is you can go around it. So see how on this one you've gone around it. Now on this particular card, the technique that they showed was that you graduate from one colour to another, and you go across like that, which is also a fun technique to do. So lots of different techniques in this particular card workshop. And you can always pop online and see how the team at Close to My Heart Home Office have put together those cards. Right, so I'm just going to put that aside and I'll show you. I'm going to lift this off. I'm actually going to stand up to make sure you can see it. Let's see if we can zoom in and just move my camera. There we go. So it doesn't really look like much, but check this out. As soon as I lift that up, how amazing is that? Oh, it looks so good. It does. It really does look so good. But it doesn't finish there. So I'm going to take that one off, and I can keep going around my page. Now I'll clean that stencil off before I go back and do my tattered rose again, because it's a light colour. I don't want to mix my light with my dark. So I'll clean that off again, but I won't bore you with that. Now what I want to show you is the leaves. So with the leaves, yes, I know they're called leaves. With the leaves, they match up with your flowers. So again, I'm going to take some washi tape. And you can see what I do. I put it onto my finger like that. And that's going to take some of that sticky off. Okay, so lining that up like so, and again I'm just going to tape that down so it's stuck to my paper. I could stick it to my all-purpose mat. I think I got the name right this time. But what might happen then is my paper moves, this stays still, and everything goes skew-if. I don't really want that. Right, I'm coming in now with my peeled paint. Whoop, peeled paint. I'll grab another one of these and make sure I get the right one of those. Here we go. And I want to start really light with this one. So again, I'm just going to rub it off a little bit onto my all-purpose mat and then come in and being very careful not to go over this line here. Now I have just a little bit, that's okay. So what I might do next time, considering I have all of this area here that is solid, I'm just going to come from this area and go out like that. Now that's going off my page, which is fine. I'm more than happy for that to happen. I'll put that in my lid. That's how I usually sit. You can't see that, can you? No. That's how I usually sit my my inks when I'm waiting. So you ready for the reveal? The great reveal. Check that out. How awesome does that look? But wait, it does get better. Are you ready? Remembering that this is Distress Oxide ink. Yeah. So if you get a little water sprayer, if you're using Distress ink, it will not work as well. But with Distress Oxide ink, what you can do, I'm just going to make sure that that is spraying, it is if you spray this with a little bit of water, whoop, that was maybe a little bit too much. So I'm wondering if I've got something to blot it up with. No, my sleeve. Okay. So if you spray that with a little bit of water, you don't want too much because you don't want your page too wet. That will then give it that flecked effect. It was sort of speckled and flecked at the same time, which nearly came out fleckled. That doesn't work. So there's one. Two is grab your stamp set, and there are all these fun little things, as well as all of your great sentiments. But this particular one here, this little 3 dots, pop that on a mini block, grab, I'm just thinking I'm going to grab my grape ink. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to grab my Distress Oxide ink just so that it does matchy-matchy. So again, this is Seedless Preserves, which is out of camera. Let's go there. All right. So ink this up. Yes, you can stamp with your Distress Oxide inks. Ink this up and then have a quick look at my other cards because I'm that OCD that I need to. And if the flower is going that way, then the stamp goes that way. Yep, okay. And then we go like this. And look at that. And yet another dimension to our gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. Yes, yes, I'm being particular. There you go. So I can do that all over my page, or I just need to wipe that off. Okay, maybe I don't need to wipe that off. Or I can just leave it like that in the corner, and then I can decorate. Oh, that's right, I zoomed out, didn't I? There we go. There we go. All right, so I can leave that in the corner like that. I can change that so that it's in the top left-hand corner, and then I can decorate the bottom corner. Or I could do that all over the entire page. Just depends on what I feel like doing. Also, for me, depends a little bit on what photos I have. So I was looking for some photos that might go with this type of thing, and I didn't find them in time, but I have thousands, hundreds of thousands of photos. So there you go, ladies. This is using the, I'm going to call it the Many Wishes bundle from the National Scrapbooking Day special. So that's mine on a page, and then these are the ones that you can make in the card kit that you receive. And aren't they just gorgeous? Hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember to grab any of these specials as a bundle. If you want them as a bundle, the special on the bundle finishes today, whereas these will remain while supplies last. Okay, as always, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments, or if they're urgent questions, please message me directly. I am going to go back into the warm craft corner and try and do some more disseminating of my magnetic albums to put them into better albums, because I'm really enjoying doing that. It's a new month next month, and we have some beautiful specials coming up. We have some specials on stamps. They are going out for a song. Plus, I also have my craft live show coming up on the second weekend, which is the long weekend of June. So if you're in Bendigo, or if you feel like traveling to Bendigo, please come and say hello, give me a hug if you feel that way inclined. But for now, stay safe. I'm signing off. Keep crafting, and bye.